Dear Taylor Guitars, I'm sorry. Around a year ago, I decided I wanted to make a guitar that was worthy of a bard and an artificer, the BARDIFICER guitar. And that required me to dive into something I had never done before, which is Arduino. So join me as I learn something new, make many mistakes, and finish the very first BARDIFICER guitar. This project had its difficulties, but overall it was a great introduction to Arduino, so hopefully this video can act as a small outline if you want to make your own BARDIFICER guitar. All I've done so far is solder a barrel jack to our Arduino Nano. This is a sound sensor module, and its job is to let the Arduino know when the guitar starts making sound so that the Arduino can send power to the LED strips. But that'll happen later. For now, let's get this wired up to the Arduino Nano. Having a lot of different colors of wires to work with helped me keep everything organized, so I would strongly suggest going with a bundle of colors versus just one or two. For this project, I used yellow wire for the out of the sound sensor module into the analog input on the Arduino. I used black for ground and red for our 5V. Our sound sensor module will receive 5V power through the VCC pin. Next, I slipped on these heat shrink tubings. I mainly did it to make things look cleaner, but they also will help protect the solder joints. If you don't have a heat gun, you can use a lighter like I did, but make sure you're careful because it is easy to go a little too far with the lighter. I've heard you can also use a blow dryer, though it may take a little more time. Next, it's time to prep our 5V addressable LED strip. Now, it would have been simpler to just solder to the wires that they had attached, rather than replace them like I do here. But I was curious how difficult it would be to solder to the tiny flat tabs, and surprise, it was not as easy as I thought it would be. And spoiler alert, it bites me in the behind later on.
Well, that looks terrible. Hopefully those hold. I don't have a lot of confidence.
Now, the Arduino Nano needs to provide 5V to both the sound sensor and the LED strip, but there's only one 5V pin on the Arduino Nano. But all we have to do is add a third strip of red wire. This will attach to the Arduino's 5V pin. Before soldering it to the board, we will take the red wires from both the LED strip and the sound sensor and twist the three ends together. Once again, we bring out our iron and melt some metal, and hopefully when we attach this to the Arduino, both the sound sensor and the LED strip will receive power. There's only one ground pin on the Arduino Nano as well, so we're going to do the exact same process, but with the black wires that we've already soldered to the sound sensor and our LED strip. With the three wires connected, we will bend the loose strand away from the other two and use some heat shrink tubing to insulate and protect the solder joint. Repeat this with the black wires, and now we're ready to wire up the board and test everything out. The red wire gets attached to 5V, that's the 5V output from the Arduino. Next, the black cable will go into the hole that's labeled GND, that's ground on the Arduino. Coming from the sound sensor, our yellow cable will go into A0, that's an analog input on the Arduino board. And finally, the green cable from the LED strip goes to D3. This is how the Arduino tells the LEDs when to light up and what colors we want.
So now it's time for the moment of truth. We'll supply this with power. Comes on, sensor comes on. Oh! It's working!
And with testing finally done, it was time to move on to prepping the guitar.
I'm so nervous and excited about this part. So I'm actually going to cut holes along the edges, all along its root, so that as the LEDs light up, it'll pop out of these holes and accentuate where the light is along its path.
And Past Josh is right to be nervous. Cutting these holes could lead to premature cracking, or worse, he could cut through one of the braces, which strengthens the guitar's top and prevents it from bending under the tension of the strings.
Cutting into the top of the guitar at random places is already bad enough, so I'm going to try to leave those bracings alone.
Using a set of magnets, I was able to trace the bracing pattern by dragging the magnet that was inside of the body along the length of the bracing and lightly mark the top of the guitar as I went. This guitar has a natural finish, so I had to be careful to press lightly to not dent the wood. Even with being careful, there are a few marks that can be seen if you get really close, so if you have any better ideas for this step, please let me know in the comments below.
Alright, so I've marked everything that matters. Our lights are going to start up here, and they're going around this way. And they're probably gonna end somewhere up here. So I only have a few things I have to avoid. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. In general, we're looking good. Oh God. Cheers. Okay, first one's done, we're through.
At no point was this not stressful, but after drilling the first hole, there was no turning back. I used the drill to start the holes and then would clean them up with the Dremel. I had to use sandpaper a couple times to clean up some tear out, but in general, this worked out better than I thought it would. It was really important to me that the LED strip wouldn't be seen while I was playing the guitar, so I made sure most of the holes were about an inch away from where the LEDs would be. And now we add one last hole for our power cable. And get things cleaned up, because it's time for LED strip installation. This step is crucial. Even though we won't be solely relying on the adhesive of the LED strip, it will be beneficial if we can count on it sticking to the guitar a little. If there's a bunch of dust and wood chips from our drilling and sanding, the sticky side of the LEDs won't be able to cling to the wood. Now, I thought this was going to be the easiest part of this entire project, but honestly, this was both mentally and physically the most difficult part of the build for me. Even with cleaning the inside of the guitar, the adhesive didn't want to stick. When it would stick, it wouldn't be uniform with the edge and was too noticeable. The LEDs eventually got where they needed to be, and rather than risk having to go through all of that again, I grabbed the nearest super glue I could find and applied it to as much of the LED strip as I could. Deciding I needed a break from the wiring, I moved on to something a little more relaxing: wood burning. What BARDIFICER instrument is complete without a little artistic flair? This was another moment where everything could have gone wrong, but after drilling the top and pouring super glue into this guitar, most of my anxieties around this project were non-existent. It was 10 p.m. and I only had about 9 hours remaining before I was supposed to fly with this thing, so caution, meet wind. Now, it could have been because I was rushing. It could have been because I was tired. But my current theory goes back a couple days earlier when I did this.
Hopefully those hold. I don't have a lot of confidence.
With everything fully wired up and glued down, the LED strip stopped working.
Oh no. What went wrong? I leave in like 8 hours and everything broke. So now I have to figure out what's wrong and fix it. No sleep tonight. That's fine.
Let this be a warning to check that your entire project is in working condition before adding superglue to everything. I was able to get to the LED strip through one of the holes we drilled, and after resoldering all the connections and the strip not working, I decided to cut off the first LED in the series and just resolder the project to the next LED on the strip. Soldering to these tabs has gotten easier as I've gotten used to using this soldering station over the last year, but if you have any tips, please let me know. Those tabs are still a pain in the butt sometimes. But finally, the BARDIFICER guitar was complete.
Come, friend, take cover from the howling wind and the roaring thunder. Share my fire, drink of my wine, for the road's unsafe tonight. War's been raging, the kingsmen tired. They've turned to looting and setting homes on fire. Some say it's demons and we should carry iron. Keep a candle burning and watch for bright blue fire. If it's true and the end is near, drop the talent on a tinker by the bar with another beer. But if we're to see another year, might as well be dead rather than live that year in fear. If it's true and the end is nigh, let's not waste another moment and live before we die. Live before before we die.
And there it is, the Bardificer guitar complete. I have had a year with this guitar, so I've picked up on a few critical issues with this design that I want to share with you. But first, if you liked the video, please like, comment, subscribe. Those things help so much, and I want to keep making cool projects, so thank you in advance. But let's get into what's wrong with this. First, the sound sensor. The sound sensor module is so finicky. You have to get the potentiometer set just right, or the lights are like always on, or they're like always off, and you have to hit the guitar to get them to light up. So I need to come up with a solution for that on the next build. Now, the second major issue is the power delivery system. Mine was very rudimentary. I just used a barrel jack and a 9-volt battery that would Velcro here. And on longer days where I didn't think a 9-volt would last the entire day, I would just use a USB to barrel jack connector and a mobile power bank. Neither of these were elegant solutions, so I'm trying to figure out what I should do in the future to consolidate power a little bit better. And the final issue with this build, which was more of a me issue than the guitar issue, was the code. This was the very first Arduino project I had ever worked on, and every time I tried to write code for the LED strip, the lights would just kind of tick one by one. They weren't alternating right. There was no flow. So thank you to Rupak. I turned to the internet, and your guide was the thing that came up, and it saved me. I have his code linked below. He has continued to update it, which is awesome. I have not gotten to test the new file that he has there, but it is there if you want to check it out. Alrighty, well, next time on Joshua Hunt's World, we will be working on a tool that anyone could enjoy at the D&D table, so follow along for that. Your support means literally everything. So thanks again for watching, and see you next time. I'm Joshua.